Welcome to this gaming themed tutorial for a marquee style balloon display. We've taken the Battle Royale theme. We're going to make some clusters as a base. We're going to add in lots of various different themes to go with the Battle Royale gaming theme, which is incredibly popular still. So we're going to go straight into it. I've pre-made one cluster of 4. We're using the 12-inch Sempertex Graffiti Sky Crystal Clear with the graffiti pattern, double stuffed with some 12-inch violet and the jade green. It just gives a lovely little combination of colour that matches in perfectly with all the Battle Royale theming. What we're going to do with these, we're going to double stuff them, like I say. There's a couple of methods you can use. So we've got our graffiti and the violet. So a couple of ways you can roll your balloon up, get it right nice and tight into a nice tight sausage shape. Push it through, and then you can grab the inside and just pull it down into place. Other option is a straw. This is just a horrible plastic straw, but anything you can use which can go into the balloon. The key is to pull it down to put a bit of tension so you've got a nice pointy tip. Push it all the way through, and that's now ready to use. And again, we'll do with the green. Pop it in, pull it down, get some tension. Same method as well, you can use double stuffing 5-inch balloons and larger 18-inch balloons. They're now ready to go. Now, because we have double stuffed, when we inflate them, they are going to be quite tight, so we want to soften them up a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do, I've got my machine set to inflate these to around about 10 inches. I'm going to stretch them first, so I'll inflate them, let the air out, and then inflate again, just so we can get a nice rounder, softer shape. So we'll do one. Let's come out a little bit. So I've pre-stretched twice. Now I'm going to go inflate them properly. So make sure both nozzles are over my inflation points. Give them a bit of a squeeze, and that's now our inflated balloons ready for the clusters. So I'm just going to tie them off into a duplet as normal. Go down a bit more. Okay, so now for our final inflation, just make sure that the necks are lined up again. And over the nozzles. Give it a nice squish to round it off. Tie into your duplet. And twist together so that the colours are alternating into the quad. We need to repeat this so that we've got 5 sections. Okay, so now by the power of editing, we've now got all of our balloons inflated. We're going to move on to the little attachment pieces that go in between. So just very simply, 5-inch Caribbean blue, inflated to about 4.5 inches. So as we've done before, we'll just set our machine. Round them off, make the duplet, Inflate your second pair, round it off, and make into a quad. And we need one more of those. In between doing this, I like to hold mine in between my little finger and my ring finger, just so they're not flying all over the place and have to find them again. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble the main base of the design. I'm just going to take a clear 260, pinch the end, squeeze the air, and tie in a knot so we've got a nice flat ribbon with no air that can cause any issues with the design. And all I'm going to do is take the knot end, wrap it around a couple of times, and tie it off with the rest of the 260. And just a simple double knot. So we've now got, which as we're building will be a base of the design, will be either the left or the right hand side. What we need to make sure when we're building this up is that we keep as much tension on this 260 as possible. If you start wrapping it with it loose, you'll run out of 260, you'll have to tie more in, so keep it pulled up as far as you can. Add in the 5-inch, so push the nozzles of the 5-inch down, 260 up, take it under the 5-inch, round a couple of times, and that's now locked in place and going nowhere. We can then move on to our double stuffed balloons, and I'm going to follow the same pattern, so I'm going to keep the purples up this side and the greens up this side. And again, we want to push these in nice and tight so that each balloon sits on the previous 12-inch. Again, 260 up as far as you can. I'm just going to do a simple figure 8 shape around 2 of the balloons, and again that is now locked in place and going nowhere. So we just need to repeat that all the way through the design. 5-inch, 260 up, figure 8, 12-inch, purple that side, sorry violet, push down, figure of 8, another 5-inch, 260, let's pop it here now, and the 5-inch cluster. You'll notice that I've kept hold of this 260 as well, just wrapped around my fingers a little bit, just keeping that tension all the time, just so I don't have to keep finding it. And where are we? Fire it that way. Okay, so that is the base of our design done. I'm going to take the 260, just come around a couple more times, and then on the final pass I'm going to hold a section with my left hand to create a loop under there. So we now have a loop here that I've forced. Take the end of it, pull it down and just ping it in, and that's locked in place. So that is now a really nice and tight base that we can now add various different balloons into. What we're going to use is to start with, I've gone with a blue foil 34-inch number 8, and this is going to be tied in with a 260. So again, as we did before, squeeze the air out the 260, tie it off to flatten to make a nice tight ribbon, and I'm going to find where I want this to sit. I'm going to go on this side, I think. So I'm going to pull my 260 down through the cluster of 5-inch and then wrap it in a couple of times. Now nicely tight and locked in place. One thing I didn't mention, this is just completely air filled, there's no helium in this at all. The entire design that we're creating here has no helium. We're going to add a little bit of helium to work in at the end just to finish the whole thing off and add a bit of extra value. So our number 8 is now locked in place, and we're going to take the Battle Royale sitter balloon. So these are very simple to inflate. They come packaged in 3 sections. You've got the main body and the 2 legs. You just inflate either with a straw that's included in the package or a hand pump. And then they have this easy attachment point that just slots. 2 slots at the front and the back. That's now locked in place. And that's our little party animal. So we need to attach him into the design as well. So you'll notice the inflation point for the main body is inside here. Again, all I'm going to do is take a 260, squeeze the air, tie it off, and then if we pop this to the side, I'm just going to roll the neck of the balloon tie for 260, and as we did with the number 8, I'm going to get some tension on the 260, pull it down into the design and rotate it a couple of times around. I think we'll have him facing the number, so about here. So you can just position his 4 legs, just sort of straddling these balloons here. Okay, he looks pretty cool there. And then just one final piece that we can do just to finish the whole design off. We're going to add in the Battle Royale foil on the top of the number 8. So I'll bring this whole thing down. And what I've done is just taken the Battle Royale standard round foil, again 260 tied around the inflation point. And then we need now just a couple of royal blue 260s. And I'm going to inflate these and leave, let's say about 2-3 inches on the end, hopefully, if I get the timings right on here. So we'll just leave a little bit off. We're going to squeeze a little bit of air out. Tie the 260 into a knot. So if you can measure how you've done the previous one, so I'll just pinch here so we know we're going to get roughly the same size. A little bit of a burr and tie the knot. So this very simple attachment point, without using any tapes or glues or anything, we're going to take the 260. I'll give it a little stretch first. Bring it round, get a bit of tension on it, get nice and tight, and then we're just finding sort of the halfway point so the equal size of the ends of the 260 are level. Give it a little twist. And then we're just going to take the nozzle, fold it into the middle and give it a little pinch twist. And same with this one. And just lose the excess. And do exactly the same again with the second one. A little stretch. Find roughly even size. Just together, make a pinch twist. we can bring the two together. And what I'm going to do is take a section from each one and just lock them both together. Arrange the bits there. There was a nozzle, there it is. So I'm just going to cut the excess from this one. Take our foil and then just give it a bit of a pull like we've done before. We want to get the bit that we've tied up here as close down into this section as we can. So a bit of a pull, and then as we've done before, just wrap the 260 around a couple of times. Lose the excess. Position it and give it a bit of a, if it's not quite central, give it a pull. And there we go, that's our finished design. Again, we were talking about adding value and things like that. All I've done is just made a very simple bouquet of 5 round foils. So we've just got 3 plain colours and 2 of the Battle Royales, all nicely coordinated with ribbon. And this weight can actually use as a bit of a weight for the design as well. There's not a lot of sort of play, it is quite a sturdy design on its own, but just the added weight in it. So all we've done like we've done before, we'll bring it in, wrap it round a couple, and there we go, finished design.